Okay, good morning. Today we're going to talk about applications of percent. And to be honest with you, this is just nothing but word problems. The key to this, all right, and I'll write it here at the top. The key is to be able to break the problem down into that percent proportion. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is read the problem, take out the important information, and just set up our equation. That's it. Okay? So let's look at this first one here. So I can zoom in here a little bit. So there continues to be a shortage of nursing school facilities. Recently, of the 256,000 applications for a bachelor's degree in nursing, 101,000 of those were accepted. What percent of these applications were accepted? Okay. So remember, the first thing we're going to do, step one, all right, is to break it down. Okay. So we know that we were looking at the total number of applications, and we have an accepted amount. Okay. And here's the key to the problem right here. I'm going to highlight it for us. It says, what percent of these applications were accepted? Okay. So when we go ahead and we go to break that down, okay, in words, what we're really looking at here is 101,000 is what percent of 256,000. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both of these numbers here by 1,000. And the reason why I'm going to do that here, you'll see in a second, is to just work with the whole the first part. So, in words, 101 is what percent of 256. Okay? So, right here, we have our percent proportion. All right? Here's the word of. The number comes after, it goes on the lower left-hand corner. What percent? Well, we don't know. That's going to be X. And then 101 is going to be up top in the left-hand side. Okay? So now all we have to do, cross multiply. We get 101 times 100 equals 256x. All right? That's going to give me 10,100 equals 256x. Divide both sides by 256 to give me x is approximately 39. So 39%. Okay? That's really all that's to it. You just have to be able to break down the problem into one statement, one sentence where we can set up our proportion. So let's try another example here. I got another one here. All right, Mr. Percy, the principal at West Mifflin High School. I get a little typo here. There we go. Put a little commas. Mr. Percy, the principal at West Mifflin High School, counted 31 freshmen absent during a particular day. If this is 4% of freshmen, how many freshmen are there at West Mifflin High School? So, once again, let's break this down. All right. So this this problem in words is going to look like 31, that comes from right here, is 4% of what number? Okay, so 31 is 4% of freshmen. In this case, we're considering the freshman to be what number? How many total freshmen are we actually talking about? So set up our proportion. All right, so here's the percent. Put a 4 there. Here's the word of. What number means that is going to be the variable. And then up top is going to be a 31. Okay? So from here, we cross multiply. 31 times 100 equals 4x. 31 times 100, well, that's going to be 3100 equals 4x. And then divide both sides by 4 to give you x equals 775. Okay? So there are 775 total freshmen. Okay? Now, the next thing I want to talk about in this chapter is going to be what we call percent increase. Okay? Now, percent increase is defined as the amount of increase divided by the original amount. Okay? So the only way that I could really demonstrate this is let's just do an example. Okay? Now, we see percent increases everywhere. Cost of education increase. Cost of gasoline increases and decreases. Cost of living almost always increases. If you look at the stock market not just over the last year, but over the last 50 years, it always increases. Okay? So this percent increase is everywhere. The key is to figure out the amount of increase and then divide it by the original amount, and then you write your quotient as a percentage. Okay? So the number of applications for a mathematics scholarship at CCAC increased from 34 to 45 in 1 year. What is the percent increase? And round this to the nearest whole percent. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do is find amount of increase. All right? So the amount of increase is going to be, hold on one sec. There we go. Okay. My marker here, if you could see the little dot, wouldn't show up. So the amount of increase equals the final amount minus the initial amount. Okay? So that's going to equal 45 minus 34. Okay? Which equals 11. So the second part we're going to find the percent. So the percent increase equals the amount of increase, which is 11, divided by the original amount, which is 34, and that's going to be approximately 0.32, or as a percentage, you move the decimal place 2 places to the right, 32%. Okay? So, just like percent increase, we have percent decrease. And once again, if you look at it, it's very similar. It's very similar, okay? You're going to find the amount of decrease divided by the original amount. Okay? So, in response to a decrease in sales, a company with 1,500 employees reduces the number of employees to 1,230. What is the percent decrease? So, step one, we want to find the percent decrease. Okay? So, not percent decrease, the amount of decrease. So the amount of decrease is going to equal let's say it this way, the absolute value of the final amount minus the initial amount. okay? And the reason why I say the absolute value is because we want to keep the numbers positive. So the amount of decrease will equal the final amount, 1,230, minus the initial amount, 1,500, okay? So that's going to equal the absolute value of negative 270, which is 270. Now, part 2, we're going to find percent decrease, okay? So from here, percent decrease is going to equal 270 divided by the original amount, 1,500, okay? And that's going to equal 0.18 or 18%, okay? Now, that's it for this section. It's nothing more than just applications. We have the tools that we need to solve the problems. It's just a matter of practice, okay? So I will see you in section, I think it's 6.6, yeah. Section 6.6, which deals with more applications, okay? But they're very specific applications like sales tax, commission, and discount, all right? So when you go buy something, make sure you're not getting ripped off or anything like that. So I will see you in the next lecture. Bye.